When menopausal moms come to me for assistance with managing their symptoms, one of the main difficulties they share is not knowing what information out there is factual, non-biased, and actually evidence-based. So, in this episode, I'm sharing information about a few basic yet proven lifestyle changes that can help with menopause symptoms, and I will clarify a few of the myths that you may have heard about hormone replacement therapy, also known as HRT. I'm Tafiq Akhir, and welcome to the MrMenopause Show. The first step to menopause symptom relief is to make basic lifestyle changes that can reduce the impact that symptoms are having on your life. These are some of the easiest ways to jumpstart menopause symptom relief. Making sure that you're getting enough vitamin D, reducing or eliminating the consumption of alcohol, getting the right type of exercise, making dietary adjustments based on your personal nutrition needs, no smoking, making time to relax and de-stress, and getting an adequate amount of sleep each night are all easy things that seem pretty simple, right? Well, as for calcium and vitamin D, women should be getting between 700 to 1200 milligrams daily of calcium, and according to the National Institutes on Health, women should get 600 international units or IUs of vitamin D per day up to the age of 70, and for those over 70, you should increase your intake to 800 IUs per day. However, most women over 40 have some of the highest deficiency levels of both calcium and vitamin D. So along with getting enough sunlight, adding a daily supplement is helpful in keeping your vitamin D levels healthy, along with increasing calcium-rich foods like boiled bok choy and boiled Brussels sprouts, frozen veggies like mustard greens, broccoli, and kale, which all provide over 50% of bioavailable calcium, which just means that it's the percentage of vitamin that enters the body and has an actual positive effect, while calcium supplements only absorb 28 to 36% of the nutrient. So as it relates to vitamin D, if you aren't getting enough sunlight and you're not taking a vitamin D supplement, you are most likely deficient in the vitamin. But the best way to know for sure is to have your numbers checked at your next doctor's visit. As for calcium, increasing the veggies I mentioned can help to boost your calcium levels. And by the way, according to various studies, boiled bok choy and boiled Brussels sprouts and choosing frozen broccoli, kale, and mustard greens is the best for these particular vegetables because these processes actually provide a higher bioavailability of calcium. Now, when it comes to alcohol, 70% of women aged 35 to 54 in the US drink alcohol, and I can say just based on my own clients, most have at least one drink every night to relax. And at least 85% won't or don't want to give up their evening drinks. The problem here is that alcohol worsens menopause symptoms. So if you choose to drink while experiencing the negative effects of menopause, just know that the alcohol is most likely adding to your symptoms. Phytoestrogen-rich foods are great for menopause symptom relief as well when chosen properly. And by the way, phytoestrogen is just another term for plant estrogen, which are naturally found in plant foods. Now, most every fruit and vegetable is highly photoestrogenic. A few that research shows actually help with hot flashes are broccoli, spinach, kale, berries, barley, carrots, apples, lentils, and mung beans. So if you are feeling the heat of hot flashes, you may want to put these veggies on repeat while drastically decreasing or eliminating foods like baked goods, sugary beverages, fast foods, fried foods, butter, and margarine, which are all known to exacerbate menopause symptoms as well as poor health in general. And as it relates to exercise, more times than not, getting exercise is not the issue. The issue is that you're doing the wrong type of exercise. Many women still want to avoid strength training or lifting weights because they think they're going to get bigger, and they opt for cardio-based workouts instead. The problem here is that women over 40 naturally lose muscle, which leads to a decrease in bone density. Doing too much cardio will promote more muscle wasting for women over 40, and menopause actually speeds up muscle loss and decreased bone density, which will ultimately lead to osteoporosis, osteopenia, or even osteoarthritis. So I recommend doing high-intensity interval training or follow-along workout programs that combine strength training and cardio. That way you're getting the best of both worlds as it relates to exercise. It's also important to understand the distinction between high-intensity interval training and high-impact interval training. High intensity and high impact are two completely different styles of working out. Intensity and impact are mistakenly used interchangeably when referring to interval trainings, which is completely incorrect. The intensity of a workout relates to the difficulty, energy, and effort that you're putting into the exercise. In contrast, impact refers to the force or stress applied to your body during exercise. For example, plyometrics, which is jump training, doing powerlifting, or even overly repetitive training can put unnecessary strain on your body and in particular your joints. I have personally recovered from knee surgery, which was caused by years of doing high impact and repetitive workouts. Since my surgery, I have only done high intensity workouts, which has helped to rebuild and maintain my muscle strength and stamina. And at 52, I'm completely pain-free. And this is exactly the same type of workouts that I recommend to my menopausal clients and their husbands as well. Now, the key to keeping your joints healthy and strong is to avoid overexertion, overextension, overtraining, and overly repetitive exercises that put too much stress on your body. Now, if you want to avoid injuring yourself, executing proper form for each exercise is the most crucial aspect of your workout. Executing each exercise correctly without pain is more important than the number of reps you complete, the speed of your movements, the amount of effort you put into your workout, and even the amount of weights that you use. Executing your exercises correctly can also strengthen your joints. Now, another important thing to note is that women and men have estrogen and testosterone. It's the difference in the amounts, as well as the fact that women have the addition of progesterone, amongst other hormones that are female specific, that makes the real difference. Now, although women's estrogen and progesterone levels decrease during menopause, as long as the ovaries are intact, they will continue producing testosterone for an additional 15 to 20 years. And this just further emphasizes the importance of increasing lean muscle after 40, since muscle responds so well to testosterone. Now, on the other hand, muscle tone and strength tend to decrease due to the loss of estrogen. So strength training is the way to go for the best recovery from exercise in terms of strength, endurance, minimal fatigue, and better health for women during and post-menopause. Now, when it comes to dietary choices, I have found that the weight gain that happens during menopause becomes too much of a priority for many women, and this tends to cause many of you to do what you've done in the past to lose weight, which is to cut calories. And again, the problem here is that menopausal weight gain is not a calorie issue, it's a hormone issue. It's not about decreasing calories, it's about consuming the correct calories. Now, this is determined by which type of metabolic menopause distress is causing most of your symptoms. Heal those symptoms with the right combination of nutrients and physical activity, and the excess body fat will simply melt away. And now with regards to smoking, in Los Angeles where I live, smoking is not as prevalent as it is in other areas of the country, so it's not as much of an issue here for me and my clients. But for other parts of the country, nicotine addiction can make it hard for women to give up smoking. Now there are many different solutions available to wean you off of smoking. You just need to speak with your healthcare provider and try out the different options to find what will work best for you. But the key is to be proactive. Take the necessary steps, make the necessary calls, and try out the different options. It's all about taking action when it comes to giving up a vice or kicking an addiction. Now, in this stress-filled, always on-the-go world that we live in today, between work, relationships, kids, and other activities, making time to relax and get enough sleep can be hard, especially when you don't make relaxation and sleep a priority. And this is problematic since rest and relaxation are crucial for mental and physical health. Now, a few ways to relax and get your body sleep ready is to cut off all the lights in your home at least 2 hours before bedtime. Avoid the computer, being on your phone, or playing on the tablet at least an hour before bed, since screens can cause the mind to become more active. So as you can see, the lifestyle changes that seem like a simple no-brainer aren't as simple as most people think they would be. But I hope that the solutions I shared will help you to make those changes a little easier so you can start to get some menopause symptom relief. Now, those were a few non-medical solutions to help with menopause symptom relief. And in the next segment, it's time for a little HRT 101. I'll see you after this. Hormone replacement therapy is one of the treatment options that is plagued with misinformation that has caused many women to opt out of trying it based on the varying things that they found online. 75% of women don't feel that they have adequate information about HRT in order to make the choice to take it. And due to the different opinions and controversy about HRT, between the years of 2000 and 2019, there was a 14% decrease in the number of women who felt comfortable enough to take HRT. And since 77% of women who are in menopause don't even know that their symptoms are caused by menopause, somewhere around a third of women don't think their symptoms justify taking HRT. Now, to help you make a more educated choice about taking or not taking HRT, here are some factual and evidence-based benefits that may surprise you. Number one is that HRT does improve menopause symptoms for many women. Some women get relief immediately, and some will have to try different options and vary the dosage until they find the HRT that their body needs. And as I say all the time, there's no one-size-fits-all way to do anything, so just keep tweaking it until you find what works best for you, and your doctor will help you with this as well. Number two is the potential health benefits of HRT include better cardiovascular health, which is huge since cardiovascular disease is the main cause of death for women. It also helps to improve bone density, reduces the risk of osteoporosis, improves brain health and cognitive function, and improves the health of a woman's urinary genital tract. Number three is that HRT reduces all-cause mortality. In a study done at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center right here in Los Angeles, they found that women taking HRT were less likely to have potentially fatal blocked arteries, had lower levels of plaque buildup in their arteries, revived many of their declining hormones, and it also protected against long-term health issues like osteoporosis and blood clots while promoting health and vitality, which increases life expectancy. So with all that being said, what is the fear surrounding HRT all about? In the early 2000s, there was a lot of press stating that breast cancer, heart attacks, and strokes were on the rise with women as a result of HRT. But since then, information regarding the study that was the cause of the HRT uproar has been revealed. First, the average age of women in the study was 63 years old. Many of the women were actually clinically obese. They were tested with high doses of HRT, and the data was leaked to the press before the study was even concluded. Now, this information may or may not change your opinion about HRT, but the reason it's important to know is that number one, menopause happens between 40 and 55 years old. The average woman in that study was 63 years old. Most of the women in that study already had pre-existing histories of cardiovascular disease. The HRT used was a high-dose synthetic blend, which is not the type of HRT even used today, and the information that was given to the press was done before the study was complete or the findings even being evaluated. Unfortunately, this scared a lot of menopausal women from taking HRT, and that fear is still present today despite previous information being debunked. Now, other factors to know as it relates to HRT and breast cancer is that women who only take estrogen and younger women are at a minimal increased risk of breast cancer. Any risks are reduced after a woman stops HRT. There's no increased risk of death from breast cancer, and micronized progesterone or dydrogesterone, which are two other forms of HRT, appear to be lower risk. Micronized progesterone is highly effective and is recognized by menopause health professionals as being safer than all other types of progesterones based on studies from France and Finland. And micronized progesterone is considered to be bioidentical because it mimics the hormones that a woman's body naturally would make. Now, based on the information that I've seen and that has been part of my education, there are no risks of breast cancer within the first 5 years of use with micronized progesterone, while there is a very small increased relative risk if used for more than 5 years, while there are higher relative risks associated with synthetic progesterones taken for more than 5 years. Breast cancer risks are reduced immediately once micronized progesterone or digesterone is stopped, while HRT with synthetic progesterones showed that breast cancer risks remain elevated for up to 10 years after stopping treatment. Now, an important factor which ties back to one of the lifestyle changes I mentioned earlier is that women who drink 2 or more glasses of wine per night are at a higher risk of developing breast cancer than a woman taking HRT based on studies. Now, it's also important to understand that HRT is not an option for all women. Some women that have been put into a medically induced menopause, and if they're in remission from breast cancer, HRT may not be a viable option for them. Plus, some women have no desire to take HRT at all, whether it be because they don't want to be on additional medication or that they're afraid of the side effects. Maybe you're on the fence about HRT and you want to resolve your symptoms in other more natural or holistic ways. Either way, I hope that I've shown you that there are various proven ways you can get menopause symptom relief. In next week's episode, I'm speaking with Nancy Boss. She will be sharing her menopause story and why HRT was the best choice for her. You don't want to miss it. As I've said, there is no one-size-fits-all way to do anything, especially as it relates to resolving menopause symptoms. It's all about finding the solution that's best for your personal needs. So whether you choose to try a more holistic lifestyle approach, hormone replacement therapy, or a combination of the two, I hope that you feel confident in knowing that there are proven fact-based solutions available that you can choose from. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, please be safe and be well.